fellow booktubers. My name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today is Top 5 Wednesday. And so today's Top 5 Wednesday is Top Love Triangles. In young adult novels especially, there tends to be a lot of love triangles, so it's kind of hard to narrow it down. But the way I decided it was who was hard for me to decide personally who I thought that she should be with or who he should be with. So let's go ahead and get to it. In the number 5 spot, we have Jace, Clary, and Simon from the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. Some people might say, how do you even think it was ever a competition between Jace and Simon? But then again, Jace and Clary kind of had some problems, especially in the first 3 novels, and especially at the end of this one. But Simon has been there for Clary all of her life. They share a lot of common hobbies, and they just know each other so well, and then Jace comes out of nowhere, and he's just like very attractive, as you can see from this book cover, but he's very witty and sarcastic, but sometimes he's just mean. And so where Simon is always sweet, Jace is always sarcastic, so that's where the love triangle commences, and that's why it made it kind of hard for me to choose in the beginning who Claire should be with. In the number 4 spot, we have Dimitri, Adrian, and Rose from the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. The main difficulty with this love triangle is that Dimitri and Adrian don't really meet or see each other until the final book. But throughout the series, you see Dimitri and how hardworking he is, and how he'll do absolutely anything for Rose, and how they just seem to be meant for each other. But then, whenever things happen and Adrian comes into the picture, he's a very sarcastic person, and he's a bit obnoxious, but he's definitely sweet. He comes from completely different beginnings than Dimitri, and so they really don't have a lot in common except that they both really care about Rose, and they're both very sweet and awesome guys, and it made it hard for me to decide who I liked more within the series. And in the number 3 spot, we have Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins, and this novel was absolutely adorable. So adorable that I had to lend it out to a friend, so for now I'll just have a picture up here. But really, that novel was so adorable, and at the beginning, Max seemed like an awesome guy. Since he'd been with Lola for such a long time, and he was just like this cool rocker, older dude that Lola seemed to be absolutely enthralled with, and so that made the reader like him more at the beginning especially. But then whenever Cricket Bell comes into the picture, and he's just sweet and adorable and so nerdy, and is just the exact opposite of everything that Max really is to Lola, then they're on such opposite ends of the spectrum that it's hard to decide between two guys who are nothing alike. Throughout the story, I think it gets easier to decide, because at first you start out liking Max more, and then it kind of shifts. But really, especially at the beginning, both of those guys were awesome and incredible, and they seem like both really good boyfriends. They both had their good qualities and their bad qualities, but overall one just seemed like a sweeter type of dude, and he ended up winning Lola's heart, obviously. Next up, we have The Selection by Kiera Cass, and these novels are all just so adorable. I really enjoyed this trilogy, although I know a lot of people didn't. I really did, and especially the love triangle that was between America, Prince Maxon, and Aspen. And Aspen and Maxon come from completely different backgrounds, where Maxon is the prince of the entire country, and Aspen is just kind of a worker boy in a very low caste. Aspen has been there for America her entire life, and he's sweet, and at the beginning he's her boyfriend, and things seem to be going great. But whenever America is forced to enter in the selection, she actually makes it in, and things change completely. And at first, the only reason America is even okay with Prince Maxon is because it's helping out her family and others in the process. You see how kind-hearted Prince Maxon really is, and just he's such a gentleman, and he's so sweet, and he really cares about the country that he'll someday reign. But then you have Aspen, who's just been such a hard worker for his family his entire life, and he works so hard for his entire family throughout the novels, and he's just really sweet guy as well, and so combining both of their qualities, it's just really hard to choose between both of them, and I really couldn't decide between the guys until the very last book. In the number 1 spot, we have Will, Jim, and Tessa from the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare, and oh my gosh, these books, you guys gotta read this trilogy, especially if you love the Mortal Instruments series. But since the get-go, Will and Jim are both awesome guys, and they've grown up together, so they both share a lot of the same qualities, but Will is very outspoken and he's all over the place and he's kind of rude to the people he cares about most in the beginning. But Will also has some problems that he can't really share with anyone either, that you'll find about later in the trilogy. And so that makes it harder for him to love the people that he truly loves. But he's really sweet at heart, even though he seems pretty rude and sarcastic in person at the beginning. But then you have Jim, who's always sweet, always wonderful Jim. But sadly, Jim is addicted to a demon drug that he was force-fed, and so he had no choice but to become addicted to the drug, and it's really sad, and you can tell that Jim is slowly dying. Either way, Tessa was going to break someone's heart, and that's definitely what made the ending just so sad to this awesome trilogy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and like, and comment about your favorite love triangle down below. And now I'm going to go back to reading, so see you guys later. Bye!